We thought we'd just do a little update today about the 10-item wardrobe.
Thanks so much for having me back, Sharon. And I'm excited. I just love the videos so much. And I'm excited to go further down this rabbit hole with you. I was thinking that it might be handy to hear some tips or some insider thoughts on how to curate your own 10-item wardrobe. Number one tip being, I would do what works for you. Sometimes I can get so swept away with a new idea or a new concept, or someone's doing something that I think is very idealistic, and I jump on, but it doesn't always suit me or fit me very well. So I'm always like, take everything with a little bit of grain of salt, and that's a good advice for myself. So I invest, like one thing I do with a 10-item wardrobe is that I always try and invest in pieces. When I say invest, I don't really invest, because as we found out last time, that everything comes from the thrift store. But for my investment, I try to get pieces that can be worn multiple ways.
Yes.
So I try, like my minimum is usually 3 ways to wear a piece. So I'd like to be able to really mix it up and it should mix well with the other pieces as well, so that each item brings in a lot of different outfits.
I noticed that you've got your blue shirt on today. That's one of the shirts also that you were talking about, you could wear to the beach over your bathers and wear you with your jeans, or you could dress it up with a skirt or something and clinch it in with a belt. And then you've got your 3 ways to wear it there. Are they the only ways that you would wear that shirt?
Sometimes I wear it I would do the buttons all up and not wear while wearing it, do them all up and then just knot it around my shoulders. So if it was a summer's day and I was wearing maybe a singlet dress or a sleeveless dress, I might wear it over my shoulders.
Oh, okay.
And just dangling down a little, or around, like kind of like how I'd wear a jumper in winter, I'd use it in summer, or even as more of a coat with all the buttons undone and just on top of something else that was more fitted. Because some pieces you buy and you can only wear it that one way. Sometimes wearing it different ways means wearing it with different shoes, like my jumpsuits. Wearing it with sneakers, or wearing it with heels, or wearing it with jewelry. So there's ways that even with one piece that looks like you couldn't really wear it many ways, or pairing it to different jackets can really take it to different places as well.
It's interesting that you wear your shirt over your shoulders, because that's one of the ways that I would wear all of my jumpers, as if they're a scarf. Just say they've got a strappy dress on, and it just detracts from showing your arms off all the time.
Well, this is actually something I learned from you, because the first time I met you, you're wearing a beautiful white jumper knotted around your neck, and then the next day I saw you were doing the same thing, and I'm like, I love that. So now I do that all the time. I usually wear a jumper and I'll have it knotted around my neck as well, and someone at work is like, oh, you've got very Hampton vibes, and I was like, oh, thanks.
So with the benefits, I guess one of the benefits would be the space issue. You wouldn't have a space issue with only 10 items.
No, that's true. So one thing I do with my items I don't think I mentioned is that I kind of cycle in and out of a winter, autumn to spring, summer. So there's 2 wardrobes, so I can keep all my both wardrobes in the same cupboard, and then 10 go to that side for the upcoming season, and then I live with the 10, or I fold them up and put them into a container if I think if they can be folded rather than hung.
Okay.
So there is plenty of space for everything, and I just have a cupboard. It's not very big. I would say it's about that big. And then the rest of my cupboard space is all filled with books.
I never use those vacuum seal bags, but I've heard that you're actually not supposed to. They can ruin your clothes.
Oh, that's probably a good tip for a podcast or for Instagram.
Exactly.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, your clothes is like totally scrunched up. So I'm not sure I'll have to do an experiment on that one, as well as how quickly linen gets biodegraded in the garden.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah.
Oh, I've got that one on there. You should have
I
a
know
look.
you showed me some little pieces last time I was there, so I'd love to hear how the whole
There's
experiment
nothing
goes.
left of the linen.
Really?
It's totally gone. So it somewhere around the 3-month mark, it completely disappeared.
How gorgeous.
Yeah,
Just
so
return back to nature.
yeah, and I gained 2 worms. So I lost 2 swatches of linen, but I gained 2 worms.
What a great.
Now you've got here some of the benefits are simplicity, knowing when enough is enough, freedom to break the rules, conscious consumption, frugal, which means you can spend money on pricey items or invest in stocks, which is what you said before. And each item sparkles joy, which I really love.
Yeah, that's a Marie Kondo one, that you hold your items in your hands and you just check in with yourself and see if it sparks joy for you. Because sometimes we can get too lost in our heads. So when we just feel it, we ask the question, then we know. And so it really is. And I think I cannot really state enough how easy it is to get ready. 3 minutes before our call, I was in my dressing gown. I wasn't sure what I was going to wear for the call. And in 3 minutes, I was changed, had selected the item and was here. And I didn't even wear track pants. I'm wearing actual real bottoms. So I feel very put together.
Well, I've got my Ugg boots on, so.
I do have the Ugg slippers on.
Learn the joy of taking care of your clothing and have an item tailored to you.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is important. Every week I have to wash all my clothing, make sure it's ironed and ready for the week upcoming, because when you do work with a little wardrobe, it has to be well cared for. And some weeks it might not even need washing, so I just put it on the line and just let it air for a while, just so that everything's having a regular bit of sunshine, a little bit of air. And going to the tailors, if you're only spending $7 or less on an item from the op shop, it's really worth that's probably where I spend the money, is I go to the tailors and I'll have it adjusted, and that's where the money gets spent. But that way it also means that it does fit you, and it makes you careful about what you purchase at the op shop, because you don't want to invest. I just invested $200 in tailoring for a cashmere jacket that I bought for only $100. So
fantastic.
You do want to make sure that it's worth that investment, that the core product that you're purchasing is worth an investment.
But if you love it, it's not the initial spend, it's how often are you going to wear it after it is fixed and tailored to yourself.
Right. So it needs to be a good quality to start with, so that once you're tailored with it, because the price can notch up a little bit with that, you want to make sure that you're going to get all the wear that you can possibly get out of it. So I went for a $300 jacket rather than going through a fast fashion label where I could have purchased maybe something for a similar price, but decided it was a 100% cashmere jacket, silk lined, from England, I think. I forget what the label was. But a really beautiful piece. So I'm excited it's at the dry cleaners at the moment. I just picked it up from tailors yesterday, at the dry cleaners now, and I'll be wearing it soon. I like that point a lot. I read it. I think I'm forgetting who I read it from. It was someone who was giving financial advice. I think it might have been in the book, The Hedonistic Frugal Person, or Frugalism, Hedonism, by the founder of Sarah's, maybe, that you take time away from purchasing items. And I was finding that when I was not doing my capsule wardrobe, I could be browsing every day online. Well, not maybe making a purchase, but I would be constantly browsing constantly feeling like I had to make a purchase, constantly feeling like I had needed the next thing, and I felt that quite constraining. So what I wanted was to allow myself space where not even think about clothing. I like it, I enjoy it, but I don't want to be always pressured or thinking or considering or making choices and decisions, not only about what I'm wearing, but what to purchase.
Yeah.
So I would take months, sometimes longer, depending, until I felt really relaxed, and then I might go back and purchase a piece. But when I felt that that strain on me that I needed to purchase, and it was like it kind of had a grip on me, then I'd just take some time off purchasing. I'm beginning to think I need a big scarf. It's just so cold.
Enjoy your wardrobe, which you clearly do. And thrift, swap, lend, upcycle, and find alternative ways to enjoy your clothing.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I'm from a family of girls, and I was finding that a lot of my investments and pieces weren't everyday pieces, but were more if I was going to a wedding or if I had an event, and then all of a sudden I'd have to splurge a lot of money for a one-off occasion. And I've really stepped away from that thinking, and I don't really invest in special occasion wear. I will put my money in a nice pair of shoes or a handbag or other places where I'm going to get everyday wear.
There's elegance in what you wear.
And thank you so much. And like another thing is I'll just borrow from a friend or a sister, or I'd be open to hiring. And then I do have one dress. I actually didn't bring it because it's more of a special occasion dress that I have that I really like, that's by an Australian. I brought brand new, and I think it's made here in Australia and designed here in Australia as well. And I have that for special occasions, for a wedding or something.
I'm glad we covered over all the points that we missed the other day, the benefits and the tips. I love the fact that you've got a 10-item wardrobe, and I find it so interesting.
I'm still looking for that perfect little skirt. I haven't found it yet, but I probably might go to an op shop or two this weekend and have a look.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.